Good evening, everyone. Today we're going to do differentiation of trigonometric functions using first principle. So, differentiation of sin x, we know that it is cos x. Now we're going to prove this by first principle way. So here the function is sin x. So d dx of sin x equals limit h tending to 0 sin of x plus h minus sin x by h. Now the numerator is in the form of sin c minus sin d or sin x minus sin y. I'm not using x and y because x is already involved in the sum. So sin c minus sin d, which is 2 cos c plus d by 2 and sin c minus d by 2. So using that formula, limit h tending to 0, sin of x plus h minus sin x will become 2 sin x plus h minus x by 2, c minus d, and cos x plus h minus plus x by 2 by h. So limit h tending to 0, 2 times here plus x and minus x get cancelled. Sin h by 2 into cos 2x plus h by 2 divided by h. Now, this I can write it as limit h tending to 0 sin h by 2 by h by 2. So I'm just bringing this 2 down. When I bring this 2 down, it becomes sin h by 2 by h by 2 into cos 2x plus h by 2 by h. Now, h is already separated there, so there is no h here. Now we know that limit, this is by standard limit, that we know that limit x tending to 0 sin x by x is 1. Whereas here we have h by 2 by h by 2. So when h is tending to 0, h by 2 will also tend to 0. So limit h by 2 tending to 0 sin h by 2 by h by 2 into limit h tending to 0 cos 2x plus h by 2. The first one will become 1. The second one I have to apply the limit. So when I apply the limit, it will become h is 0, so cos 2x by 2. So you get cos 2x plus 0 by 2. So therefore the answer is 1 into cos x. So that is cos x. Hence differentiation of cos x is sin x. So next is differentiation of cos x, which we know it's minus sin x, but now we need to get it by first principle. So d dx of cos x equals limit h tending to 0 cos of x plus h minus cos x by h. And this is in the form of cos c minus cos d. I did tell you why I'm using c and d instead of x, y, that is we usually use. C and d is because there is already x in the question. So it's better to handle a new variable rather than the same one. So cos c minus cos d is minus 2 sin c plus d by 2 and sin c minus d by 2. So using that formula, limit h tending to 0 minus 2 sin c plus d by 2 which is x plus h plus x by 2 into c minus d by 2, which is x plus h minus x by 2 by h again. So limit h tending to 0 minus 2 sine of 2x plus h by 2. Don't extend this by like this. This will put the whole sum in a wrong place. The entire sum will go wrong. So be very careful, the by is only for 2. Only for the numerator of x plus 2h. So therefore, this will become sine h by 2 by h. So limit h tending to 0. I'm taking this minus 2 out. Consider as if I'm taking the minus 2 out into sine 2h plus h by 2 into sine h by 2 by h. Now, those who can't understand of taking this, minus 2 down here, can consider as if you are multiplying and dividing by 2. So here I am going to take it as multiplying and dividing by 2. In order to apply this is the minus 2 which stays out here. So limit h tending to 0 sine 2x plus h by 2 into sine h by 2 by h by 2, and then an into 2 here, so the 2 and minus 2 will get cancelled. So minus limit h tending to 0 h by 2 tending to 0 sine h by 2 by h by 2 is 1, remaining is limit h tending to 0 sine 2x plus h by 2. So now when you apply, this is becoming 1 and you have a minus out, into when you apply limit for this, it is h is 0, so 2x by 2, which is sine x. So therefore, the differentiation of cos x is minus sine x by first principle. Next, differentiation of tan x, which is secant square x. We're going to solve this by first principle. Derivative of tan x equals derivative of sine x by cos x. Now that means limit h tending to 0 sine of x plus h by cos of x plus h minus sine x by cos x by h. So f of x here is sine x by cos x. So f of x plus h will become sine of x plus h by cos of x plus h minus f of x, which is sine x by cos x. Now take LCM. So limit h tending to 0. LCM for the numerator. So denominator of x cos x into cos of x plus h, which is this one. Now this into this into this. Sine x plus h into cos x minus cos x plus h into sine x whole divided by h. So keep in mind there is a by h here. This has to be slightly smaller than the main denominator. Now next step I can write this as limit h tending to 0. I get the sine of x plus h into cos x minus cos of x plus h into sine x divided by h into cos x into cos of x plus h. Now the numerator is in the form of sine A cos B minus cos A sin B, which is sine of a minus b. So the numerator now becomes limit h tending to 0 sine of x plus h minus x whole divided by h into cos x into cos of x plus h. X get cancelled. So we get limit h tending to 0 sin h by h into 1 by cos x into cos of x plus h. So basically I'm separating the h. The reason because it is in the standard form of limit x tending to 0 sin x by x, which is 1. So 1 into limit h tending to 0 1 by cos x into cos of x plus h. Now apply the limit. Wherever there is h, you put 0. So 0 will come here. So you will have 1 by cos x into cos x, which is 1 by cos square x, which is nothing but secant square x. Therefore, differentiation of tan x is secant square x. Next one is derivative of cosec x. I did tan, so cot I think you all will be able to do it on your own. Like that I'm doing cosec now, sec you can do it on your own. So differentiation of cosec x is minus cosec x cot x. Let's see how to get this by the first principle way. So derivative of cosec x is equals limit h tending to 0. Well, I like to take cosec x as 1 by sin x because we don't have any formula as such for cosec. So I'm going to take cosec as 1 by sin x. So now it becomes limit h tending to 0, 1 by sine of x plus h minus 1 by sin x by h. Then limit h tending to 0. Take LCM like the last sum. Denominator, product of the denominator will be the LCM as the denominator are different. So we get sin x minus sine of x plus h whole divided by h. Now it becomes limit h tending to 0 sin x minus sine of x plus h whole divided by h into sin x into sine of x plus h. Simply because there is two denominator, when you bring it up it is 1 by h. So you bring this down or you consider as taking this up. Either way it's okay. Then the numerator is in the form of sin c minus sin d. Sin c minus sin d is 2 sin c minus d by 2 cos c plus d by 2. So using that in the place of the numerator, limit h tending to 0, 2 sin x minus h by 2 into cos h plus x plus h by 2 whole divided by h into sin x into sin of x plus h. So here plus x minus x get cancelled. Limit h tending to 0, 2 sin minus h by 2 into cos 2x plus h by 2 divided by h into sin x into sin of x plus h. Now, we again know that sine of minus theta is minus sine theta. Therefore, this minus will come out. So, it's minus 2 or just take the minus out because 2 you can bring it down later. Limit h tending to 0 sine h by 2 by h by 2. Well, I am taking this 2 down into cos 2x plus h by 2 by sine x into sine of x plus h. Now, when h tending to 0, h by 2 will also tend to 0. So, I think that you all know now. So, this will become 1. So, minus 1 into or minus into limit h tending to 0 cos 2x plus h by 2 by sine h into sine of x plus h. Apply the limit. Wherever there is h, we put 0. So numerator will be cos x, denominator will be sine square x. Cos by sine is cot. Remember there's a minus out. And 1 by sine is cosec. So I get cot x into cosec x minus cot x into cosec x. So once you apply the limit, the h will become 0. It will be sine 2x by 2, which is, sorry, cos 2x by 2, which is cos x, by sine x into sine x, which is sine square x. Cos by sine is cot, 1 by sine is cosec. Minus is already outside, so it is minus cot x into cosec x. Now let me tell you how to differentiate log terms and exponential functions. So differentiation of log x, we know that it is 1 by x. Now let's do this by first principle. So derivative of log x using first principle is limit h tending to 0 log of x plus h minus log x by h. But before we complete this question or proceed with this, I would like to list some rules of log which will be applicable in derivative. So make a note of it, and it is very important. Rules of log. Rules of logarithm. Log AB is log A plus log B. Log A by B is log A minus log B. Log A to the power of B, the power is only for A, it is not log A whole to the power of B. So keep in mind it is log A and only A has the power B, which we can write it as B log A. Then log A base A is 1 and log E is 1, log 1 is 0. So log 1 is 0. So these are the important rules of log that we use. There is one more rule called change in base rule. This is called as the power rule of log. This is simply called as a power rule of log. And then there is something called base rule. So if you have log A base B, we can write this as log A by log B. This is called base rule. Change in base rule. Change in base rule. So all these are applicable when it comes to differentiation chapter. So here I am going to use few of the rules. So here as you can see, the numerator is log A minus log B, which is in this form. Log A minus log B is log A by B. So I am going to write this as log A by B. So limit h tending to 0 log x plus h by x. See, another important thing is, don't put this by as this. It's only for this term. So if you put it like this, everything will go wrong. It's only for this. By h. So it becomes limit h tending to 0 log of 1 plus h by x by x. Now, out of the standard limits that we learned, there is something for log. Limit x tending to 0 log of 1 plus x by x is equals 1, isn't it? So look at this. We can somehow change this question to that form. Only requirement is it's in the place of x we have h by x. So denominator should also have a by x. The limit should also change to this form, isn't it? So I'm working on that now as my next step. So in order to get a by h in the denominator, I'm going to multiply and divide by x here. So this will become limit h tending to 0, 1 by x into log 1 plus h by x by h by x. Now as you can see, 1 by x is free of h. 1 by x is free of h. So that means there is no point in retaining it here. This will not change with respect to my h limit. So I can take it out of the limit. So 1 by x is taken out, limit h tending to 0, log of 1 plus h by x by h by x. Now when h is tending to 0, h by x will also tend to 0. When you divide both sides by x, it remains 0, isn't it? So therefore, there is no harm in putting h by x tending to 0. Hence, this is in the standard form now, right? So answer is 1. And 1 into 1 by x is what? 1 by x. Therefore, differentiation of log x is 1 by x by first principle. Next I'm going to do differentiation of e to the power of x. Well, differentiation of e power x is e power x itself, isn't it? So let's solve this by first principle way now. So derivative of e to the power of x is equals limit h tending to 0 e to the power of x plus x minus e to the power of x by h. Now, when you see this, again, please make sure that all these standard limits are thorough. So, there is a standard limit for exponential term. Limit extending to 0, e to the power of x minus 1 by x is 1. Now, I'm going to see whether I can work on this and transform this question or this stage to the required standard form. So, I'm dividing by e power x. The numerator, in the numerator, I'm multiplying and dividing by e power x. Okay. Now, with this, limit h tending to 0, the multiplication e power x stays out. The division e power x takes the control of every term minus e power x by e power x, like this, by h. Now, limit h tending to 0, e to the power of x, and here how can I write e power x plus h? E power x into e power h by e power x, and over here it's 1 by h. This will get cancelled eventually, and as I said before, e power x is not going to change because of h tending to 0. So therefore this will be taken out of the limit. So e power x is out, limit h tending to 0, e to the power of h minus 1 by h. Now this is in the standard form, right? Standard form. Hence this will become 1. So e power x into 1 is e power x only. Hence differentiation of e power x is e power x by first principle. So hope all the first principle standard derivatives are clear for you all, and hope my videos are useful to you all. Thank you.